Welcome to Marcor Studios, where here we will be interviewing different industry professionals and educating our homeowners as well as the industry as a whole. We hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to Marcor Studios. We are here today with Steve from Boss. Steve, how are you doing today? Thanks for being here.
Good, Gina. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely. So what's Boss? You are the boss, but what is Boss?
I am the boss of Boss, but Boss stands for Businesses of Superior Standards. So we have a very high threshold for allowing companies like Marcor into the group. And when they come into the group, it definitely shows that they have a high standard for quality, for service. And what Boss is, it's a business building group. We've been around 21 years now, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's not a short period of time for sure.
Yeah, so especially for a business group. We started off as a cooperative marketing group. At the time, 20 years ago, the way to get the word out was to put it into the Long Island Business News, New York Real Estate Journal, Newsday, places like that. As the company evolved, basically we found out that people wanted to network with each other. You get 10 business owners around a table, the first thing they want to do is see who they're working with and what they can do for each other. And that is how it evolved to the point where now we do online media, and it's basically the service of being a one-on-one consultant for companies that work on commercial buildings.
Okay.
So I will have group meetings, I have member-only meetings, I have open meetings where guests are invited, and then I also work with the members of the group one-on-one. I get small groups together, 2s and 3s, because that's where a lot of in-depth work goes on. I do casual lunches because my philosophy is that people want to do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust.
Correct.
And that is how business is done still on Long Island. It's not a good old boys club because it's probably 50% women. There's many more women in the construction field than I've ever seen before, and it's a growing segment. But we service commercial buildings in every way. And we have 30 companies. We're all category exclusive, so that if you come in as a roofer, there's no other roofer. If you come in as an electrician, there's no other electrician. So that also brings a level of trust, because if you're going to share what you're talking about with someone, it's not like there are 5 other roofers there who are going to go try and grab business from you. It's your category, and that's very important to my members.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now, but this is, when people hear category exclusive, the first thing they think of is BNI or LaTip. This is nothing like that. This is specifically towards the building industry. You're bringing in big builders, big developers that are...
So our vertical is people who work on commercial buildings and the businesses they're in, okay? So, I mean, we have everything from surveillance cameras to office furniture, architect, engineer, you name it, electrician, roofer. We have pretty much most of what you need to service a commercial building.
What do you not have? What else are you looking for to fill some seats?
We need a carding company.
Okay.
We need a good glazier. We need a commercial painter.
Yeah.
So there's always categories that can be added to. And then there are new...
Aero company. I know you were looking for one of those at one point.
Yes. And there are new categories that are emerging. As a matter of fact, we had a general meeting yesterday, and we had someone there who does AI and how that applies to the commercial building industry. It's very interesting because this is a category that 2 years ago didn't exist.
Yeah.
And now it not only exists, but it's become a larger and larger portion of the business.
Oh, for sure. And I'm sure that there's so many different opportunities with existing members on how they can collaborate internally as well.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
What about marketing companies and people who do search engine optimization, things like that?
Okay, so there are areas that we will not include in Boss, which include a marketing company we will never have, like as you would in a BNI or a LaTip, we'll never have an auto body repair. We'll never have a chiropractor. The companies have to really be specific to the envelope of the building.
So let's pay technically like a builder can come in and check a box and have every single type of, hey, I come in, a property manager comes in and they say, okay, I need a demo guy, I need a roofer, and I need a painter.
Yep.
We can service all of those things.
We can service all of those things. And yes, that is, we specifically want to talk to development companies, management companies, building owners, property managers, facility managers. Those are the common thread that hold everyone together.
Yep.
And IT managers also. We have a couple of people who fit into that category. Everything from our company that does phone systems, internet, and storage.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of categories covered. There's always more to add, but we have a lot.
So let's shift to questions. I want to talk to you about the industry as a whole, because you're so dialed into what's happening between, your relationship with, Eric from Vision Long Island and different, builder developers. What are you seeing as far as some challenges within the industry right now?
Over the years, I've just naturally developed relationships with developers, with people who are in the industry, and everyone from Tritech to B2K to RXR to Damianos have all spoken to my boss group. What I'm seeing is frustration is one of the words. I mean,
really? I would never have guessed.
There's a lot of development that's going on, but there's a lot more that can go on. Long Island is ripe for it. There are projects like the Hub, which is where the Coliseum is just basically sitting vacant 90% of the time.
Yep.
And the old Marriott that's up there, it's been now the environmental, after years, is finally done. They spend millions on it. The traffic studies are done. The water studies are done. Now we're finally getting to the point of development, and we're going to see how many more years it takes for that to happen. And the problem is that a lot of times a developer will want to come in, and because of the extensive red tape and delays and reports that have to be done on Long Island and in New York State, by the time that the project actually gets ready to take off, the developer's now pulled out and decided, nah, it's not worth it. I'm going someplace else.
Trying to make money somewhere, and unfortunately, the bottleneck really slows up the process. And then all of a sudden, they do their original bids, and then now you're getting
exactly.
I just had one from 2 years ago, just last night, that they came back and they're like, "Hey, we're ready to finally break down. Can you do last looks at numbers?"
Right.
And I actually went back to the guy and I was like, "You know what? I'm so happy that you remembered me. I'm not even going to redo your numbers.
Right.
Keep those numbers. I'm going to hold them for you." And it's not common that I do something like that, but you want to maintain those strong relationships.
Absolutely. And Long Island is, like I said, is still a relationship place.
It really is.
I think that bottom line numbers are more relevant when you go into the boroughs in Manhattan. They don't really take the time to develop a relationship with you. They say, okay, this is your reputation, you're clean. Okay, let's get to the point where's your bottom line number? That's what they care about. Out here, people have preferred vendors. They like to work with companies because they know that they're going to come through for them on time.
Yeah.
And that's where Boss comes in, because we vet these companies. So a company that comes in with what we call the Boss seal of approval, it's like the Good Housekeeping seal. You know that you're going to get a quality company.
Yep.
So a lot of the developers do like to work with the Boss vendors, and we will find that there's not one, but 4, 5, 6 different companies that are working with a developer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely the many levels of and many tiers of getting to that project to actually even get a shovel in the ground.
It is. I mean, take the Sunrise Mall, for instance.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to shift there.
It's vacant. I mean, what used to be really an area that was a destination for many people. I mean, when I was young, we were at the mall every weekend, It's sitting there vacant. It's an eyesore at this point.
Yeah.
It was scheduled for multifamily housing, which has been a big area on Long Island, and we'll talk more about that. But it was scheduled for multifamily housing and medical. All right. it's taken so long that we don't know what's going to go up there by the time this thing actually comes down. But we know that it's not going to probably come down because of all the red tape for a couple of years. And I
Think
mean,
about all that tax revenue that we're losing because of what could have been up a lot quicker. It doesn't make sense.
Long Island has a way of shooting itself in the foot.
You think?
So we have
Unfortunately,
lost tax revenue, but we also have a lost tax base because we've made it unaffordable for young people to stay here. And our talent base, our labor base is leaving the area. They're going down south, they're going out west, wherever it is. But we need to find ways of keeping them on Long Island.
Yeah.
And there are great developers. I'm going to point out TriTech in particular, who've developed Station Yards, which is a fantastic development. It's right near walking distance to the train station,
Yep.
walking distance to downtown. They did another one in Bayshore, which is the same way. So you could put hundreds and hundreds of people here. And one of the main complaints from the people who live in the area is, oh, it's going to cause a lot of traffic. Well, these developments are in walking distance to the train station, in walking distance to downtown, and you don't even have to take a car out.
you know, that's what I find so amazing. We do all these community outreach. You and I see each other at them a ton. We do a community outreach meeting where, you know, we're coming in, we're speaking in favor or support of a project. And some of the most asinine and ridiculous responses you get from the community, that they're just like, you just haven't really thought the project through from a, you know, not from a building standpoint. We've already checked a lot of boxes as an industry. But then you get the public and they're like, are they just not understanding the project itself and trying to shoot this down just because it's not what they want?
I don't know if it's that they don't understand it or they don't care to listen to what has been said.
Good point.
I mean, I've seen multi-million-dollar environmental studies, traffic flow studies. And by the way, we do have a traffic engineer right in our group.
Yep.
And they've done some of these wonderful studies, right, showing how the traffic flow will not increase, right? Millions of dollars is spent on that.
Or the fact that they're willing to put money in to increase that infrastructure that the county or the state or the towns don't have to spend that money. It's part of the project.
Right. But a lot of times the local residents will say, oh, it's going to cause traffic jams. There's too much traffic there already. It's going to pollute the water. It's going to pollute the air. It's going to be noise. There's going to bring in a different crowd of people. And they're not paying attention to the millions of dollars that have been spent on studies
Yep.
to make sure that those things are all within acceptable range.
Yep.
We have sewerage capacity that hasn't been reached in places like in some areas in Nassau County. And we'll make sure that whatever is being done, that sewerage is going to be okay. It's going to stay within the standards. We're going to make sure that we work on projects and make sure that those projects become LEED. For those people who don't know what LEED is, it's environmental safety projects. So they might need solar, okay? They might need to have bicycle paths there. They might need to have access so you can walk to a train station. All these things play into LEED, all right? We had a big project a while ago, the Cannon Building out in Melville.
Yeah.
And they were one of the few projects that actually hit all the requirements for LEED certification. And I mean, it's a wonderful thing when you do that. It's more expensive. It takes more time.
For sure.
But when you put that in there, I mean, there are companies that are willing to go through that, and we need to encourage more of them to develop on Long Island.
I mean, I think that we're kind of going in a direction where we actually are making it even more difficult for a lot of things with building here too. I mean, what are your take? I'm going to throw a little curveball at you. What's your take on this whole, you know, January 1st electrification of New York, and then the fact that the ITC is disappearing and or minimizing on a commercial side?
One of the things that I really try to stay away from in Boss is getting political. Okay?
I'm with you.
But the political landscape nationally is changing so quickly. Yeah. And New York State needs to keep up with it. You know, the mandates are being removed, things are changing, and it's going in both directions. So in an area like electrification, they're loosening up the requirements on vehicles, on all the rest of that stuff.
But they're increasing it on building.
And they're increasing on building. And also, we have issues with the labor force, which some of it is, some of it's undocumented, some of it is documented. And if as an employer, you're not aware of what's going on and you're not keeping up with the issues, you need to make sure as an employer, in my opinion, this is my recommendation, as an employer who needs to have immigrant labor, let's put it that way, you need to separate the documented from the undocumented, and you need to keep their documents because you can't rely on them showing up at a job site with the right documentation. But as a supervisor, if you show up on a job site and you have documentation for all your people, there's nothing that can be done about that. They will be able to stay on the job, right? Ultimately, there's a cost difference, all right?
Sure.
And we have to worry about that. We have to make sure that that gets included into the cost of jobs. But we can work within the environmental regulations, the labor regulations. Everything can be done. There's a lot that can be done on Long Island. We are not a fully developed area. We can be. I mean, everyone sees all the houses out here and the buildings. There are areas, especially in the area of warehouse and industrial, that are absolutely, there's availability out here. One of the companies that you see growing within the Long Island envelope is Amazon. They've taken over a lot of buildings.
Sure have.
They've expanded a lot of buildings. And it's great because you're employing people, all right? You're doing construction jobs, you're employing people, and you're also helping the economy of Long Island, all right? We got to transfer over to a 21st century economy. And online is the 21st century economy. So a company like Amazon is essential to get those packages delivered. Yeah. In my neighborhood, I see an Amazon truck every day. I see a Walmart truck every day.
I'm not home and I still see them.
They're all over the place.
Usually on my doorstep, but
that's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's part of the incoming generations. Also, this is just all like my generation was kind of shifted into it. Everything behind me is all they know.
Yes,
and that's really what is. It doesn't make sense because, not to get political, but it's that generation that's supporting the opposite of what they want. And they don't even realize the outcome of what they're voting for is the opposite of what the outcome is.
Well, there's an old saying that says politics makes strange bedfellows. And,
makes a lot of sense.
What someone wants on the right and someone wants on the left, you take them and they're in opposition to each other. And then you take another issue and they're actually taking each other's position. Long Island is an interesting place, and that is why I said staying non-political is essential. And that's something I recommend to all my boss members because I don't believe in red or blue. I believe in green, and that's really what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to service the companies that want to work and develop
and be able to sustain what we have here. So, one last thing is, leading into kind of from where we were going, what do you think is going to be the most important part of the infrastructure for Long Island's growth?
In Suffolk County particularly, I'm going to say that a huge issue over the next number of years, sewers. All right? You can't go anywhere. You can't develop without sewers. And you'd be shocked at how much of Suffolk is still in cesspool. All right. It's not a pleasant subject to talk about, but it's true. We got
to sometimes talk about shitty topics.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get the sewer system up to where it needs to be.
Yep.
Because that will accommodate increased population. It will increase all the development that we can do.
Yep.
So it's kind of the starting point for everything else that's going to go on. That, and the second thing that I'll tell you is We need to continue with the redevelopment and revitalization of the downtown areas. Bayshore, Farmingdale, great examples of things that have been done.
Huge development.
There's stuff going on in Hicksville, Westbury right now. We need to get areas, more development in areas like Riverhead. Just naturally, Long Island is pushing eastward.
Yep.
There's no denying it.
And the money's there. It's not like people aren't willing to spend it. Where like we go out on even a Thursday or Friday night, you can't get into these places. It's not dead. I mean,
No.
There's money to be spent.
There's money to be spent, and
there's money to be made.
I'll wrap up with one thing is that in spite of the youth leaving and an aging population that we have, Long Island is still one of the most wonderful places in the country to live.
Yeah.
We have the beach. We're right next to New York City. We have a lot of culture on Long Island. You could go to a play down in Babylon, and the quality of it is almost Broadway. It's really good. You have so many things to do on Long Island. You have golf, you have pickleball, you have tennis, you have anything you want.
4 seasons a year,
right?
I mean, which is, we're very fortunate for.
And you have 9 professional sports teams. You have concerts all summer long.
Yeah.
This is a great place, and I encourage people to, instead of looking to go move down to Florida right away or move down south, to understand what you have here, because once you lose it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And this is an area of the country that is absolutely worth saving.
100%. I appreciate all your time today, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a boss member. It's been awesome. So if anyone is ever looking to get involved, that maybe within the industry that's looking to get involved with Boss, Steve is the guy to speak to, and he is great. As you can tell, he's a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate you being on here today.
Thank you, Gina. We love having you in Boss, and we look forward to your continued participation in the group.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.